distance, 12,000 dollars. Third and fourth left engine, ignition. Main engine energy level, 20% increase.
I always wanted a thing called tuna sashimi.
3, 2, 1.
Hello guys, Tune here again. This week I'm going to review a Demon Front, that IGS Arcade game that I bought. I've been playing. Really cool game. Like I said, I've been looking on the internet for information on this game, and there's not much information at all of where this game come from, who made it. Anyway, it was made by IGS, I know that, and it's a Taiwanese company. Even I've said it myself that this game is a Metal Slug rip-off. It's technically, I don't think it is a Metal Slug rip-off. It's more in the same style of gameplay, because this game is significantly different to Metal Slug, as we'll go into in a minute. I say this game had come out in 2002. It's 2 players at the same time. The difference is, as with Metal Slug, you've got 4 characters on this game, each with his own little creature, his own little familiar. The first one is Sarah, which is the girl who's got a familiar, and the familiar shoots like homing fireballs. The second one is the human guy who's got like a flamethrower. Then you've got Dr. J, the scientist, and he's got like an electric ball. It's a character I haven't really used much, to be honest. And then you've got Maya, which is like a female ape, which shoots like a 3-way and 5-way firing, depending on when he gets powered up. I say each character is, they shoot and run and are exactly the same, but their little creature makes the game a lot different. With the little creature as well, you can press the C button and your creature turns into a shield, which protects you from a lot of projectiles. But the only problem is, after so many hits, if the shield runs out, your little familiar dies, unfortunately, and you can only get it back then once you die yourself, or I think it does respawn over time, but I'm not entirely sure. So like I said, this is a 2-player. Say differences with this, it's got very nice 2D graphics, and it does run at 60 frames a second instead of 30 frames that the Metal Slug games run at. So we'll chuck a few credits into this. I say I've been playing this game quite a bit, and the game is difficult. It's quite tricky. So here's your 4 characters. Each one of them, like say, with a different familiar, which gives them a different weapon. What you do to use your familiar, you hold down the button for a couple of seconds to charge up, and then you release, as it'll show you below. And then your little familiar will release this attack. Like I say, you can jump in the air, but you can hold down the jump button and float in the air, which is unlike Metal Slug. Plus, you can, like I said, you can change your familiar into a shield, which she'll do now in a second. And that protects you from a lot of projectiles and stuff. Say you start off, you get 3 choosable levels. We're going to go for the middle one, and there's 2 levels at the bottom that unlock once you've done the top 3, and then the 6th level, once you've completed the 5th one, appears in the middle, and it's basically a giant last boss. I say this game it has a lot of similarities to Metal Slug in a lot of ways. The graphics on this game, they really went for that 2D style of graphics. This game has got some very nice graphics indeed. It's got some really lovely animations. It's got some very nice graphics. There is secrets in this level as well. So if you shoot this thing 4 times, and then if I jump up, float, and then punch it to death, you'll get a key. Each level has got one of these secret keys. They're a little bit hard to find, and I've only really worked out to find the one in the first level. And when you do that, there's a secret door you can enter, which gives you to a bonus to get an extra life. So I'm going to use the shield here so I don't get it. When you get close to enemies, you punch your enemies, which gives you energy back on your little familiar. Plus, it also powers your familiar up. So if I keep punching, if you notice the top left, the bar is going up, and your familiar gets more and more powerful. Plus, the more you play, you power up as well, so your actual firing will get powerful. I'm not entirely sure if it's the way you power up the familiar that powers up your firing, or not. I'm not sure exactly how that works, but my firing will actually get a little bit better. I say, she's quite useful with the homing firing. Once it powers up, it gets a bit ridiculous. So your first secret section is by here. Go in here, and you get these really nice animated aliens in here, which I'm going to punch the crap out of. I'm going to go down here, and your first secret to get extra life is that thing there. You collect that, and she'll get an extra life. So you don't have to kill those aliens. So I'm getting out here. You can force the homing firing as well to go up on the levels. If you jump and then fire it off, it will automatically sort of shoot your homing up. So you do have a little bit of control over it, but not much like. This game as well, like Metal Slug, has got lots of little secrets. You'll see me punching enemies a lot. First it goes up here. A lot of coins and that you can get from around the place. A lot of extra points. I say the graphics on this game are pretty beautiful, to be honest. It's got amazing animation. It's really well made, very much like Metal Slug. You know, the people who did this at IGS really went for that, definitely that Metal Slug style of graphics with over-the-top animations. It's a very, very nice 2D game, and still looks very pretty to this day. I say it's got a little bit of a different look to Metal Slug, where Metal Slug's a little bit more darker. This is more of a sort of brighter in your day sort of look to this game. Like I said, it does play very much like Metal Slug, but it is quite a different game. Sometimes I try to hog with it to get my familiar powered up a bit. There is a secret there as well. Should be 2 power-ups I get there. Yeah. This is where we get giant snake things. There's a few different weapons in this game as well. We've got, like I say, this is the automatic gun I've got at the moment. Now I've picked up a shotgun, which is very nice. A shotgun is actually. You can get a ice beam, which looks stunning, but I don't know, it doesn't seem that effective, to be honest. And there is a grenade launcher as well. The grenade launcher is really good, but it does cause a hell of a lot of explosion noise on the screen. So the one thing I would say about this game as well is the sound. The music's not fantastic. It's good enough, it does the job, but the sound effects are definitely... They've obviously gone for arcade, you know, make it big and sound fantastic like a lot of Neo Geo games did. But the music is a little bit low and the sound effects are very high. I would prefer to hear the music a little bit more, but yeah, I suppose you can't have everything. Say one thing about this game as well is a lot of the IGS games, they never really got any home conversions. The only one I know of that got a home conversion was Spectral vs Generation, which is quite a nice beat 'em up. But that came out on the PS2. But I believe that's pretty much the only home conversions out there. Apart from the later versions of Knights of Valor, there was a PS4 conversion of the latest Knights of Valor game. And oh, there's the ice beam now. Oh, you got killed then. But I say most of the IGS games never got home conversions, which is a little bit of a shame because this would have been really nice to have on the PS2. I would actually be a little bit well known if it came out, because a lot of people don't even know about this game. Can't get too close to this thing. I say he does have, as you can see, big bosses at the end of the stages. The bosses can be quite tricky. So each of the characters are a little bit different. Like I said, she's quite useful. If oh damn, got it in the foot. Her firing doesn't seem that useful at first, but once it gets powered up, it gets a bit crazy. Oh, that was lucky. Gotta get quite close to him to get away for that. Do the float jump over the things. This game does have some very nice bosses as well. The tree boss especially being pretty amazing looking. Yeah, here we go. So once you kill the boss, you get this little sort of, there's the little scorpion underneath, and a little thing gets burst out of him. You shoot that for extra points. And then you get a nice little sort of animation at the end. And each character has got his own unique animation as well. And that's the first level. I say I've been playing it quite a bit, and I've only really managed. I can get to the third boss on 1 credit. I say I thought this game was going to be a little bit easier than it was, but it is quite tricky. And I think the 1 credit is going to take quite a bit of practice. There are some 1 credit sort of replays on the internet, but I think a lot of them are tasses or cheats. But there are 1 or 2 that look real. Good thing about her firing as well, that it will actually look for secrets. Like then. So it's quite handy some ways. It will actually tell you where the secrets are. Like there's some there. Like there's a secret there as well, that little thing on the floor. Ah. Don't normally do that, this little mid-boss like that, to be honest, but... So there's a secret there. And I think if you hit the coins with your frying pan that she's got, you get bigger coins. So this level looks very, very similar to Capcom's Willow. It's another arcade game I used to own actually, but there's a level on Willow that's got a karting level very similar to this actually. You can see where, you know, IGS are taking ideas from other games, but they have sort of made this game quite unique. I say if there's a little bit of a weak point to this, like I said, it would be the music. I say gameplay and graphically, this game is quite impressive. It does play pretty much like a Metal Slug. Like I said, it is significantly different to Metal Slug to be not just a clone of it. Sure, there's another secret around here somewhere. Let's get down here. There is another key down here somewhere, but I never quite worked out, I can't quite get it. I think I need to get on mame with save states and try and work out where this key is. You can't be too long in this because the floor starts dropping down, so it's best not to take your time for too long. Ah, damn, you got killed. See, talking and playing this game without concentrating, it is difficult. Oh, damn it, I've never seen him do that before. That's the first time I've seen it actually ram me. Normally I kill him pretty quick. Oh, I'm concentrating here. Oh, picked up probably the weapon I didn't want. Right, I think there's a key here. There's a little platform that goes up. And that always happens to me every time I try and get that platform. Get a shotgun. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it's something to do with the platform that goes up there. Because you can burst the ceiling open, look. And it gets bright, so I'm not sure if you do it quick enough before the platform kicks in. You get the key. Yeah, I don't know. So it's cool that some of the backgrounds are destructible. So there's a secret there. The actual secret I want to get in is there's a little sort of fan vent there. That's where the actual next extra life is. But you need the key to get in there. I can't get in there without the key, so I think I need a save state or mame really to figure this out. I say a lot of the IGS games as well, they're not actually emulated that well on MAME. If you've got a MAME 240p setup, they're a lot better, but playing for telly, they are a little bit laggy. And I am playing it on a lag-free monitor as well, so I still haven't quite worked out the best place to stay here. Well, that seems to work quite well actually. Right, second boss. Second boss is quite tricky. I say this is not going to be a playthrough, it's just a review, so I probably won't play for too much longer. This boss is quite hard. I've tried it with other characters and it's quite tricky. Ah, damn. I'll continue once more. Bad time to go forward then. There is a grenade launcher around here somewhere. Oh, damn. So I think you do need to use a shield a lot. So I mean, pretty rough this boss is. I have done it if I lose that life, but like I said, I haven't perfected this boss yet. So you can use a shield. I think I definitely need to get into using the shield on this game a lot more. It does help. So I'll show you some of the next level and then so a lot of time I don't end up using the shield. I think there is places I think you do need to use it. This stage is a bit crazy. It's cool, I can say. There's a hell of a lot of stuff that goes on in this game. This game can get quite busy at times, and this is one of the stages where things get very busy. You got these little bald fellas that sort of jump in on you as well. They like sort of jump up to the screen. They do like a dive on you, like that one did. You got to be careful of that. It's quite a hard stage, it says. The boss is quite tricky as well. See that little dive attack they do? Right, this is where it gets quite tricky there. Oh, I forgot the bubbles kill you. I'm going to use the shield for this bit. Basically on this bit you just got to hang around and kill everything. Ooh, got it then as well. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff that goes on in this game. This should end now in a second once we kill that third one. Now we got a lot of tentacles to deal with, as you'll see in a minute. Get rid of the shield. Here's the tentacles. You gotta watch the tentacles slap you. Bubble again. I say in this level you start to see sort of how much, oh, I got slapped, how much detail's in this game and how much stuff to get on screen at once, and I killed myself. Anyway, there you go. So that's the first 3 levels of Demon Front on the IGS arcade game. Say this game is getting harder to find these days because people who buy an IGS game boards all want to get a copy of this game, because probably this and Road to Sword or the Gladiator, probably the 2 best games on the machine. So I've been playing it quite a bit. It's pretty difficult. It's going to take quite a lot of practice, I think, to be able to 1-credit it, if I ever be able to 1-credit it, but I'll give it a go nevertheless. But as review-wise, like I say, the little downfall in this game is the sound. I would say the sound is very low, the sound effects are very high. The music in this game is not brilliant, but it does the job for what it is, and I wish I could hear it a little bit more. The graphics are fantastic. There's a hell of a lot of detail that goes on. There's a hell of a lot of things on screen, more than a Metal Slug game. And it all runs at a nice 60 frames a second with pretty much no slowdown. It's very nice looking game. I say the people who programmed this in Taiwan did a very good job of it. Like I said, it's not really just a Metal Slug rip-off. There's a lot of unique stuff to this, and they add a lot of things that make it a lot different to Metal Slug. So it's a bit of a more, I know, a game inspired by Metal Slug, I would say, more than a Metal Slug rip-off. But like I say, it is getting a little bit pricey. You're talking probably to pay over 100 quid for these days. If you can find it, because I was looking for it for quite a while. In the end I had to get a arcade supplier in China to find me a copy. It's the same I'm probably going to have to do to get Road to Sword as well, which is another game I really want to pick up, but I won't be picking that up anytime soon because it's going to cost me over 100 quid, so that's going to have to wait to a time when I have a little bit more spare cash. But yeah, as for a score for this game, I'm going to give it 9 out of 10 actually. I think it's a very good game indeed. You know, maybe not quite as good as maybe the best Metal Slug game out there, but still at the end of the day it is a pretty fantastic game that does, once you get into it, you realise how much it does have to offer. It's a very nice game indeed, so 9 out of 10. So if you ever get a chance to play this game, give it a try. You'll probably never ever see it in an arcade here. I've never seen any IGS games. So your best bet is either to buy this, if you've got a super gun of course, is get yourself a board, because for some reason the PGM boards are going for about 50 quid these days, which is crazy, because they used to be a lot more expensive than that. And other than that, try it out on MAME. Like I said, MAME is not perfect, but it's pretty decent for what it is, and all the other IGS games are there for you to try out as well. So as long as you've got a decent enough PC, it should run quite nicely in MAME. And I think it will run on the SNES Classic as well. If you hack your SNES Classic and mess around with the MAME emulator, I think you can get this running on it. Well, at least I've seen a video of it running on it anyway, and they look pretty decent. Yep, so that's Demon Front, guys. Really cool IGS game, 9 out of 10. So I'll catch you soon with another review. Bye now.